And we're saying, are you kidding? Without guns, how can we be safe? Because if crime, ever, if we're in danger, we need the gun to protect ourselves. And so what they're not realizing is that firearms are used to protect or save a life. I believe it's between 500,000 and 3 million times every year. I have that statistic in my Women for Gun Rights information. But the left never talks about how many times firearms are used to save lives. 100%. They only talk about how many times firearms are used in violent crime, or really the majority of the statistics, the numbers that they refer to are suicides. And again, that is an entirely different issue than a gun issue. A suicide issue is a mental health issue, and they can use any form of weapon to end their life, which is it's a tragic issue, and it is one of the most heartbreaking ways to lose someone in our lives. But it is not the gun; it is a mental health problem that has been unaddressed.
So one of the things that I'm really concerned about is, how do you think restrictive gun laws marginalize the lower income, marginalized citizens or females?
Absolutely. That is a really great question, and one I'd love to talk on. What we're seeing with Measure 114 in Oregon, and then with the amendment, which is 3075, which it's kind of hard for me to speak on it clearly, but 3075 is an amendment to Measure 114, but it's its own bill. But I don't know if 3075 doesn't pass. I don't know if 114 doesn't go into law. I don't know that 3075 will, because it's kind of tied to it. But basically, the original 114 measure had, let's say, a $60 fee to apply for your permit, or to even apply for the permit. So that's a $60 fee. Then you had to go out of your way to take some type of firearms education training class for that permit. And there's no fee associated with that yet. None of this program was even created when Oregon voters voted on this. They just put down this sloppy list of things and said, vote for this, it's going to make Oregonians safer. And because people didn't know what they were voting for, it was a very close vote in the middle, and it did pass back in 22. However, there were fees associated with it. There was firearms training classes that you would be obligated to go take. Then you also have to, of course, purchase a firearm so there's the purchase of the gun as well, the purchase of the background check, and all of these take time and all of these take money.